What is up, you guys? It is me here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be doing the AFC North needs. So the AFC North is pretty much one of those divisions where, there are not going to be a lot of. This might be a very short video because, this is a very perfect roster teams. We're talking about the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, and maybe the Browns. These teams are playoff contenders. All of them. They're all playoff contenders. So I'm just letting you that at the moment. But now let's talk about the worst team in the division, which is not really a bad team whatsoever, but the Cleveland Browns. Now, I don't know how to explain the QB position as a need, because if we're looking back in Houston, this guy is a top 10 QB. That's not even a question. But but it's just he didn't get used to the playbook, which is one thing because of his suspension. He wasn't playing all that much. He wasn't at practice really that much. It's very interesting. And again, they had no choice but to hope that this guy is the guy, and it was just a fluke last year. But yeah, but it doesn't mean that this roster is nothing but just that. They have a need at receiver. Now, it's not literally like the entire receiving core, because Amari Cooper exists, but that's kind of it. Donovan Peoples-Jones isn't that terrible by any means, but he isn't really that good. I think he is more of a receiver 3 option, which I don't have a number 2 option, and you kind of get what I mean. The O-line is also a very much of a need for the roster as well, in my opinion. But it's just my opinion. And another, I don't really think the defense is really actually that bad when I'm thinking about it. You have JOK, who is, pretty much, you already said it, is okay. Myles Garrett is one of the best pass rushers in the league. Denzel Ward is a really good corner. They don't really have a lot of needs, and Grant Delpit was also a very good player this year. So, really, they don't have a lot of needs on that defense, and maybe with the new defensive coordinator, maybe the defense might change. So, that's why I'm going to just leave it there. But the next team we got is the Dark Horse, potential Super Bowl contenders. Steelers might go Super Bowl. But, anyway, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team was expected to be in a rebuild year this year. We weren't expecting them to be literally one game away from the playoffs, which that's what they were, and the continuation of a winning record. But it's very interesting to see what this team will be. The needs are not really on the offensive side. Outside of O-line, I would say that's kind of it. But maybe inside linebacker is a need for this team as well. But they might not be addressing that in the draft. Maybe free agency, maybe, but who knows. What they also need is fix the secondary. Minka Fitzpatrick is fine. It's just they don't really have capable corners at that position. And heck, getting Joey Porter Jr., that would be a nice move. But they kind of need to fix the secondary is really what I'm trying to say, and that's one of the things that this team is going to have an issue with. They don't address it, at least in the draft. But then you got the Baltimore Ravens, and one key reason of why they are just bad and not Super Bowl contenders every year is because of health, and health is a big major concern for this team. This team has major concerns with health, which is the one reason why they've kind of been slowing down. And also, pass catchers is a big need, mainly just in the wide receiver position. Now, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely isn't that terrible of tight ends, but man, they need to fix the receiving core. Rashad Bateman was just not cutting it. Denver Bumabay is probably a wide receiver 3 option, but man, they need to fix this receiving core, at least in the draft. And that's kind of it, really. This team doesn't really have a lot of needs. Yeah, sure, they might need to fix the interior or maybe even linebacker outside of Roquan Smith. But that's it. This is one of the greater defenses, and the team that, like, the thing that's slowing them down is the fact they don't have a wide receiver. And the issue is with this team is that they're a run first team rather than a offense, like, throwing the ball, because that's like what everyone's doing now, and that's why the reason the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. They mainly throw the football, not run it, which is a big concern and the reason why I just don't see this team going anything far until they decide to turn themselves into a pass-heavy offense and also keep Lamar Jackson, and yeah. Then they got the Bengals. Bengals, pretty much best. This is the best way to describe it. O-line. Their O-line is somehow still just a need. I don't know how when they signed players like Leon Collins, Alex Kappa, and Trey Carrots. It's ridiculous for the fact that this O-line is still this bad, despite of all the moves that they did in last year's free agency. It's a pretty ridiculous factor, and I'm really, really hoping that this will change during the offseason, because your boy wants the Kitties to win the freaking Super Bowl. You feel me? Okay. That will be it for today's video. The video is very short, mainly just because there's not a lot of needs all over the roster for any of these teams. But yeah, anyways, peace.